Hey everybody, MotoPoet59 here. Going to talk a little bit about cancel culture again, and I want to repeat that I do not like cancel culture no matter which side of the aisle it's on. If you don't like someone or something or whatever, don't watch them. Don't listen to them. Don't go there. Don't engage in that. That's fine. I have a problem with that. But to try to get everyone else to boycott people or cancel whatever. I don't care what side of your aisle. That's crap. Don't do that. Stand up for yourself, have your own opinion, and let everybody else make up their own mind. Stop telling people what to do. It's almost as bad as people said, don't get gas at Chevron today. Well, you can get gas there tomorrow. Not that I buy gas at Chevron. But anyway, back to the point. I was watching Greg Gutfeld last night. I don't watch I like Gutfeld, but I don't watch him very often. I don't watch anyone very often. But part of his opening monologue was about Dave Chappelle being about a comedy club in Minneapolis called First Avenue canceling his performance because they got in public protest is what they said. But really it was one letter from change.org, and they said in their letter, and I'm paraphrasing this, I didn't want to write the whole thing down. And again, my camera on my computer is having issues, so I can't use it, so I can't screenshot things, and my phone's really hard to do that with. So, but anyway, they said that Dave Chappelle is transphobic and dangerous to trans people, with a record of violence towards that group. That's paraphrasing. That's not exactly how it was worded, but that was the meaning of it. And first off, I don't think Dave Chappelle is afraid of anyone. And for all you idiots out there who use this-a-phobe and that-a-phobe, and I did a video about this some time back, to be phobic about something means to be deathly afraid to the point where you have anxiety attacks and pass out, things like that's a phobia. My ex-wife was so afraid of snakes that if they were on TV, she would almost have an anxiety attack. We're going down the road one time, and there was one crawling across the road, and we're driving 70 miles an hour down the road, and she lifted her feet up, and she didn't scream, but that's phobia. I doubt if Dave Chappelle is phobic. I doubt if he's phobic really about any group of people or any person in general. I myself am claustrophobic. I do not like spaces where I can't do this. And that's phobia. But so they're misusing that term, and the public are allowing them to get away with it because the public are by and large uninformed. Sorry, I'm even talking to a lot of conservatives, and I'll get into some. I'm going to start doing a few series about how conservatives are misleading people and sending out misinformation because it fits an agenda, because it fits a narrative that is a conservative narrative. I may not disagree with that narrative, but I disagree with a lot of the things that are pointing to that. That's another video. I don't know how Dave Chappelle is any more dangerous to trans people than I am. Do I agree with what they're doing? No, I don't. Do I understand it? Not at all. And that doesn't mean I'm afraid of them. That doesn't mean that I hate them or anything. It's not like that. It's just something with which I disagree. And I don't think that Dave Chappelle, as far as I know, I've been watching Dave Chappelle and following his comedy stuff for years. I don't recall him ever having been engaged in any violent acts of any kind for any reason. Certainly not against a group like trans people. The problem is that with groups like this, and I ain't saying just trans people, I'm saying any group who feels oppressed or put upon or whatever, any of them and all of them, all you have to do is whisper a disagreement, and you are a transphobe, you are a homophobe, you are a this-a-phobe, a that-a-phobe, or this is a racist or thisist or thatist. And it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And it started getting, up until about a year ago, to where no one wanted to say anything. Everyone was terrified they would have this label put on them. I was not among those people. I'm not afraid of labels. I'm not a racist. I know that. I'm not a homophobe or a transphobe or a thisophobe or a thatophobe, other than a claustrophobe. And so I didn't care. I don't care what people want to label me. Go ahead. I don't care. Especially since I quit working at the railroad. If somebody could actually go at Union Pacific Railroad and tell a superior or even a coworker that I had said something or I felt a certain way about something, and I could be taken out of service for that, maybe even fired. But I'd have to go through the rigmarole. I'd have to go through the investigation. I'd have to go to sensitivity training. I'd have to do all that just because somebody said something that may not even be true. But that's how bad things had gotten. I don't know what it's like at Union Pacific now. I've been retired since 2019. But I know that around the world, and in the entertainment world in particular, a lot of these people have had enough. And Gutfeld listed quite a few names, but here are a couple that stood out because these are people who I know to have been not hardcore leftists, but generally more liberal people in the past, have had ideas and made statements about it. They didn't get political about things, but it was pretty obvious the way they leaned. J.K. Rowling, Eric Clapton, Johnny Rotten, Ricky Gervais, and Jim Brewer are just a few of them. There were actually about a dozen or so of them that he did. But anyway, these people are tired. David Spade was another one. These people are tired of it. They're sick of it. They're sick of not being able to engage in creativity in their comedy or in their writing or in their music. They're sick of not being able to be creative for fear of offending someone. And I've got the shirt on again that I love this shirt. Jennifer bought me this, and it's absolutely true. Everybody's offended by something. Well, not everybody, but everybody in these groups. I'm sure there are people within these groups that aren't offended by this kind of stuff, but most of them are, and they're the vocal ones. And the squeaky wheel gets the grease. But I have a feeling that the people that are going against this now, I don't even really know what to call them, the pushbackers, are about to grease those wheels to where they can't be heard anymore. People are tired of this, and it's very heartening. I really enjoy seeing people stand up against this. I watched Chappelle's the comedy routine he did, and I think I said something about in one of my other videos that everybody was in an uproar about, but Netflix didn't pull it. They kept it, and everybody bitches about Netflix and how left they are, and I don't know, maybe they are, but they didn't pull that. And there are a few other very conservative shows, a series right now, and I can't even remember it because I'm not thinking about it, but the Terminal List, that are the left are just blowing up about it. But Netflix is a business, and they are tired of it too. And they're running these things regardless of what people think. And they ran Chappelle's thing. And he just kept saying all through his routine, he'd say something that he knew was going to get to certain people. He did it up for multiple groups. And he would say every time he'd go, that's right, I'm going there. I am going there. He's not afraid anymore. And it's getting to where more and more celebrities, people with a voice, are tired of it, and they're going to go there too. And I'm not saying that J.K. Rowling is going to write a book that's going there, or Eric Clapton's going to write a song that's going there, but they're not going to allow their creativity to be compromised anymore by people who are offended by everything. It's crazy. If it is okay to disagree with somebody. If you're in one of these groups and you see this, think about that. It's okay for me not to like your lifestyle. If you're a white supremacist, if you're one of these idiots in the KKK or one of these groups, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that at all. But if that's the way you want to act, go ahead. There's no skin off my nose. It's the same thing with the trans people, the gay people, the whole LBGQTWXYZ. It's the same with minorities, all the minority groups. It doesn't make any difference. It makes none at all. It's okay for you to disagree with me, and it's okay for me to disagree with you. And the thing that really pisses me off about these groups is that they just refuse to see it that way. It's okay for them to be intolerant of your views, but it's not okay for you to be intolerant of their views. And I wouldn't even classify myself as being intolerant of their views. It's like I said, get on with your bad self. If you're gay and you want to get married, go get married. I don't care. You've got just as much right to be as miserable as anybody else and give away half your shit if your marriage doesn't work out. Why should we straight people be the only ones that have to put up with that? It doesn't matter to me. Go do what you're going to do and don't push it on me. I'll go do what I'm going to do and I won't push it on you. Newspeak in 1984. That's exactly what these people are engaged in right now. And if you haven't read 1984, you really need to. You need to read Brave New World. You need to read Atlas Shrugged and Animal Farm. And you know what? Especially if you're a liberal. You need to read that and see how it is relating to what's going on in our world today. I don't know. It just really gets on my nerves that these people are so sensitive that they can't take any form of disagreement. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motopoet59. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content, and we'll see you all later.